classic Thai Buddhist amulets to be found on Thailand-Amulet.net, ancientamulet.com, and BuddhistAmulets.net, and Thailand-Amulet.com. This first one is the Prat Somdet Putto Than Kha Tok from Luang Por Nu of Wat Tung Lam, released in the year 2516 BE. Lang Hanuman Chern Thong. Actually, Lang Hanuman Hao Pen Dao Pen Duan, with Hanuman yawning at the moon on the rear face. Luang Por Nu passed away in 2529 BE. The next one is, of course, from Luang Pu Wan of Wat Doi Me Pang in the north of Thailand. Is a beautiful somdet in Ner Pong Naman, oily herbal powders. And this edition is, of course, from the 2517 BE Thai Chui Thai, Thai Help Thai edition, which has the Thai map on the rear face, the words Luang Pu Wan Sujino, and the words Thai Chui Thai. And here we have the Somdet Ki Sing, or Somdet Ki Rajasi, Pimyai Niyom from 2521 BE, which is a Buddha riding on Himapant lion in Ner Pong, from Luang Por Goi of Wat Ko Sitaram. You can see the obvious presence of Muan San collected from some great masters, including broken pieces of Prat Somdet Wat Rakang inside the Muan San. And here we have the Rien Sema Run Song, second edition, Ner Tong Dang, sacred copper coin, from Luang Por Huang of Wat Tha Nai in Nakhon Pathom, from the year 2502 BE. Luang Por Huang was one of the great Nakhon Pathom masters of that time, and this amulet has great repute for many people having miraculous experiences. Luang Por Huang himself was born in the year 2428, and at 22 was ordained as a monk. He passed away in the year 2506 BE at 75 years old after 56 years of ordination, and this coin is extremely well known for its protective powers. A very rare coin indeed to find these days. And now we can take a look at the Rien Somdet Luang Por Khao from the year 2506 BE, released at Wat Saneha, which had famous blessings from the great Luang Por Thang Klai of Wat Suan Khan, Luang Por Noi of Wat Thammasala, Chao Kun Warapat Banyajaan of Wat Aranyathivat, Wat Pa Chonburi, Luang Por Ngern of Wat Don Yai Hom, who presided, Luang Por Dang of Wat Tung Kok in Suphanburi, the master of Luang Por Pen, Luang Por Naat of Wat Si Loha, and Ajahn Chum Chai Kiri, as well as many other great masters involved in the blessing of this edition. On the rear face we can see the sacred Kom Akara Namo Puttaya with sacred Unalom and the name Wat Sineha embossed. And here we have the first edition Rien Run Rek Po Kun Ram Kam Hang from 2510 BE, first edition in Ner Tong Dang Galai Tong, very difficult to find, with the Prapiti Mahaputtapisek blessing ceremony in the blessing of Wat Sutat, with His Majesty King Rama IX making the victory candle lighting to initiate the ceremony. And it had two blessings, with the first blessing at Wat Sutat with Luang Putto performing blessings, and the second was in Sukhothai with Luang Por Pi and Luang Por Kru Bawang from the Northern Lana tradition making the blessing ceremony, as well as Luang Por Wibun of Kampeng Phet to assist. And this is a very, very rare edition. Apart from that, released in three other main metals, gold, silver, and of course this copper version. Yeah, very rare indeed. And here we have a very, very fine example of the Prat Somdet Sum Rakang Somdet within the arch of a bell, temple bell, of course referring to Wat Rakang, of which Luang Pu Nak was the abbot, and who respected the great Somdet Prabuddha Janto of Wat Rakang Kositaram, and used broken up amulets from Somdet To to make his own Prat Somdet. And this Prat Somdet is one of his Pimyai Niyom, most famed and popular amulets of Luang Pu Nak, abbot of Wat Rakang Kositaram, and was blessed along with Luang Po Supot and Luang Pu Hin, also of Wat Rakang, and Luang Po Supot of Wat Sutat, blessed together, and is a very, very popular amulet, but very, very rare in all forms. Its rarest form is black powders. And here is very rare, one of the most rare amulets of the great Luang Po Huat, who began making amulets around 2505 to 2510 BE, and this is assumed to have been made during that time. And most of his amulets were placed in Grut burial chamber, which were then found and opened in the year 2532 to the year 2535 BE. This is assumed to have been made and blessed for the Luk Nimit Arahant Ball burial ceremony of 2510 BE, and has very powerful Muan San from great masters including Luang Po Tin of Wat Pa Le Lai, Luang Po Tem of Wat Prat Loi, Luang Po Mui of Wat Don Rai, Luang Po Dang of Wat Tung Kok, and many other masters such as Luang Po Sot of Wat Pak Nam. And here is a very expensive, rare and masterclass amulet, the Prat Glip Bua in Nơ Mekapat, Gate Tong Kam with golden top knot from Jau Kun Sunthorn of Wat Kanayana in Bangkok, released in the year 2473 BE. This exhibit is absolutely perfect and of course is encased in solid gold. And this one actually passed a certification with one of the amulet societies and is a very rare amulet indeed. The Prat Somdet of Tan Jau Kun Sunthorn, Somajan, or Luang Po Prom of Wat Kanayana are very, very expensive. This particular smaller amulet is a little bit more affordable, but still very expensive and rare. This Luang Po was a Luksit of the same Kruba Ajan as the great Luang Pupu of Wat Intra Wihan. And here we have a classic Pitta in Nga Gek, sacred carved ivory, extremely ancient from the Khao O tradition, from the Tamnak Taksila Khao O, blessed by Pratajan Iat or Luang Po Iat of Wat Don Sala. Gon Ut Chanarong, it has Chanarong, sacred paste in the bottom with Takrut spell insert. Luang Po Pan was the Luksit direct and first of the great Ajahn Tong Tao, who was the founder of the Tamnak Taksila Khao O at Wat Khao O, and the founder of the whole magical southern sorcery tradition of the Khao O masters. And Ajahn Iat moved to Wat Don Sala to take over that temple, which was later, of course, continued by the great Pratajan Nam. And that's an excellently carved, very beautiful exhibit. And here we have the Prat Somdet Sam Shan, very, very fine and detailed and perfectly clean exhibit from 2506 BE from Wat Prasad Punyawat, from the rebuilding of the Uposatha Shrine Room edition, which was attended by somewhere around 250 great master monks from around the nation, including Luang Po Gasem, Luang Pu Tok, Po Tang Klai, and other many, many, many masters of great fame, such as Luang Po Ngan of Wat Don Nhai Hom, Luang Pu Tim of Wat Lahan Rai, and so many others. And this is in sacred powders donated from many of the masters, including Ajahn Tim of Wat Shanghai, who gave sacred powders along with his black Dingagya yaks used for the making of Prat Lumpur Tuat. And here's a very beautiful Prat Somdet, Ner Kreng, very, very hard and fossilized, probably released around 2500 to 2510 BE, before or after, and is the Somdet Ner Pong of Luang Po Tong Glung Suntaro from Wat Jedi Hoi, the temple of the shellfish stupa, a stupa made out of fossilized shells in Pathum Thani, outside of Bangkok. Lang Pam Trayang with the rubber stamp on the back, Lang Pam Trayang Dang, red rubber stamp, first edition Somdet, yeah, from Luang Po Tong Glung, probably about 2500 BE, I'm not sure of the year. Very, very beautiful amulet. And here we have a most beautiful and ancient exhibit, the Prat Somdet Pimlek of Luang Po Kram from Wat Prat Ngen in Nonthaburi. Extremely difficult to find. Luang Po Kram was very well known to be a master of the Vicha Yan Tao Ruan, sacred turtle magic. And he was born in, I believe, the year 2418. No, he was, yes, he was born in 2418 and passed away in the year 2486 BE, making this amulet extremely ancient centenarian amulet, probably released around 2460 BE, around that time, somewhere around the same time as the amulets of the Great Luang Po Pan of Wat Bang Nom Ko. And here we have a most clear-cut and beautiful exhibit of the Prat Somdet Brok Po of 2512 BE, given to Wat Ratchanada and released at Wat Ratchanada Temple, but co-created and co-blessed by the great Luang Po Kuai of Wat Ko Sitaram, along with other great masters, including the great Luang Puto of Wat Padu Chimpli and other masters, many documented and others not. You can see a very, very fine sacred powder Muan San clay to this amulet. Extremely beautiful, extremely perfect in features and highly detailed in its relief. A classic collector's item indeed. And here a most beautiful classic, which I personally love the sacred powder clay and aging features on, is the Prat Somdet Sien To or Sien Bad, rounded large head version of the Prat Somdet Buddha of Luang Po Supot of Wat Sutat, made from pure broken pieces of Somdet Wat Rakang of Somdet Prabuddha Janto Promrangsi, released of course in the year 2484 BE, with the Yan Pu Onalom on the rear face stamped in. And this blessing was of course extremely important, the second most important and largest amulet blessing ceremony in Thai Buddhist history in 2484 BE in the Indochina War ceremony blessing. So that's all from me about amulets today from the ashram. If you want to see any of these amulets or similar, not all of which I will be having in my websites, you can visit Thailand-Amulet.net, Buddhistamulets.net, and Thailand-Amulet.com and AncientAmulet.com.